Hey, how are you? Can you hear me? Hello.
Hi, as host, I had a whole bunch of stuff I had to get into. Where's my camera? I'm looking down, so my camera's not there. My camera must be up here. How was your vacation? You're muted.
I'm sorry. It was great. My vacation was great.
Okay, well, I envy you. I haven't had one in a few years.
Oh, no.
We have nice weekends. We do a lot of nice things on the weekends.
Oh, that's
Okay, now Eileen is going to join us. I hope in person. It might be by phone because she's taking care of some family business that came up. But we also have
Yeah, no, that's fine.
we also have a
That's
couple of students, Ashley and God, this is terrible. Not Veronica. First name, I know her last name is Westlake. Two students who said they were going to join us. And you said you had a couple of friends.
Yeah, no, I had a couple of people that were interested, but I know one of them said that they were away this weekend, so they couldn't join. I mean, this week, so they couldn't join, but to keep them posted.
Okay.
And that they might join.
And now last year we had Ina Kovane, who was terrific. And
Yeah.
I think maybe we can reach out to her if we need some help as well, because she was really, really helpful and really fun.
Okay.
So
Okay, yep.
let's see. So it's just 7:00 now. We should wait a couple of minutes and hope that the others, Vanessa Westlake and Ashley Carter, that's who is going to check in.
Okay.
And Vanessa is not officially part of our group, but she has been really conscientious in showing up for everything.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and Ashley is officially our student rep, but I found out that she hasn't gotten checked in yet, signed in officially. So she still needs to go to town hall. So I had to send them the invitations myself because the town wouldn't send them because they're not official.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But they're volunteers, so, and
They
we
can
need
join,
their help.
right.
Right. And last year for Diane, is that someone you know?
Could be.
Is this someone you know, Teresa?
I'm not sure. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
Diane, how did you find out about this meeting?
I got invited. I'm in a Facebook group called Latina Moms.
Yep, that was. Welcome.
Okay.
Thank you for calling.
Sure.
Okay, because in order for me to be able to get back in touch with you again and keep on inviting you to this personally, you can see next to my name, there's my email address. If you would please email to me your full name and your email address so I can always get in touch with you directly.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on a
I
second.
didn't know there was a group called Latina Moms. That's great.
Yep.
And is it throughout the whole Boston area or? Uh-oh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think it was somebody local that started it,
Mhm.
just in Wakefield. But
Okay. And Diane, what is your background? You're muted right now.
Okay. Did you mean my ethnicity?
Yes, and what Latino background do you have?
So my parents are from Central America. They're from Costa Rica.
Oh, I've been there. Beautiful, beautiful place.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and I obviously am not Latina, but I have an enormous appreciation for the cultures, the food, the music, and have traveled to many different countries. Too bad I don't speak Spanish, but I try.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're waiting a little bit because there are two students who have been very active who said they were going to come to this. And I hope to hear from them, but if not, we will just go ahead because we don't have that much time. This happened last year too. Did you by any chance attend our last year's event? It was a blowout. It was fantastic. It was so far beyond our wildest dreams. Thanks to Teresa in particular. We had the only thing I can call it was a true fiesta on the plaza of the library. In the middle of October, it was 65 degrees on a moonlit night.
Yeah, it was nice.
We had wonderful entertainers who got everybody up dancing under the moonlight. It was just, and it will be very hard to to outdo that, but I'm sure we can come up with something really, really good.
Oh, you're muted.
Where did it take place?
On the
Outside of the
plaza
library.
right on the plaza,
Oh,
on Main Street.
On the steps. It was really nice because we had that area.
Mm-hmm.
And we had 3 different levels of entertainment. We had an individual whose name is Charlie Dury, who sang music from many, many different Latin countries and many different types of dances. And he did all the dances as he was singing. So he knew the bachata and he knew the samba, all the dances. He was doing them. And I was on crutches and I couldn't dance with him. I was going crazy. And then we had a Chilean folk dance group. And Teresa's family is from Chile. And then we had the doyen of mariachi music in Boston, Veronica Robles and her group. And I gotta tell you, there was so much waltzing on the plaza. It was just absolutely lovely. It was
Nice.
lovely.
How long did the event last?
It was one evening, and it was the first 100% live event that we had been able to have because of the pandemic.
Right.
So our problem right now is we have to first and foremost determine if we want to do one big event or do we want to do a series of smaller events around town over the course of the month. And all of this has to occur between September 15th and October 15th.
Okay.
Do you think the library will let us use the space again?
Oh, I'm sure they will, but I wonder if we'll be lucky with weather. I mean, if we do it in September, we have probably a better chance of the weather being good. And it's been so dry, except this marvelous rainstorm today.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sure the library would be very happy to help us out, and they helped us promote it as well, as did the town and local press, and we get a lot of help with that. And we have a secretary treasurer who's very social media savvy, and everything we send to her, she makes sure is widely distributed, which is great. So again, the question is whether we want to do one thing or we want to do a series, because actually the chairperson of the HRC, who is coming in, I hope a little bit later, she had a family legal obligation she had to fulfill tonight. She suggested at one of the meetings that we try to do things around town at involve different businesses that have spaces in their venues. So like have one thing, for an hour in one place, and then another, a week later, do another thing somewhere else, and do something like once a week, in different places, rather than trying to schedule everybody at one time in one place, which miraculously worked out last year. And we have to be very mindful of the town calendar as well as what other things are going on locally. At this, one of the places that large spaces, indoor spaces, if we really needed it, the AmeriCorps Center is fantastic. We've had things there. They book up, they might be completely booked up for September.
I
already.
know, because then they have basketball. I remember that being an issue. I think last year, I think they have basketball
Yep. So,
and their
you know,
schedule.
with them, you have, like we did our Asian Pacific Islander there in the spring. We fortunately found a day, a Saturday, when they were they were available, and we didn't use the big gym. We used the smaller room, which was perfect for what we had planned, which was exhibits, interactive activities, performances that taught people how to dance or do certain things. So we had a whole mix of things, and we could do something like that for this as well. I know that, and Teresa knows this, I'm really big on the music and dancing part. I think that really brings people together. I reached out to, I haven't heard back yet, but I reached out to the Tango Society of Boston, because Argentine tango is definitely part of the culture. I started trying to find, I was hoping there was maybe a bachata society from the Dominican community, but what I found was a lot of dance instructors and dance studios that taught people.
Yeah,
in
there's a
clubs.
dance studio in Malden,
Yeah,
and they gave me a quote for like 200, 300, depending on how many instructors, and about an hour of like a dance lesson.
oh, because that's, you know, that's something we could do, like even Albion Cultural Center. I don't know if they would charge us or not, but they have a lovely space in the back. Some of the businesses have bigger spaces, like the banks have big meeting rooms. So if we wanted to have a series of, let's say, dance that, you know, different kinds of dance, invite people to come and see what it looks like, and then try their hand at it.
Right.
We could do that, or we can have, you know, I would rather have something interactive than completely passive.
I would too, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that would be good. Now, do we know if we have any money left for this or no?
Okay, we have been, there's, every bit of money was used up last June, pretty much on the Pride, especially using, they decided they wanted to have sign language interpreters for the events, and they, very expensive. But we've been told by Steve Mayo, the town manager, that if there's something we want to do, come to him and he'll arrange for us to have some money. We don't have a lot. No, we only have a few $100s. But
Okay.
he said he would be able to help us. And I been talking to the members of the HRC about applying for grants, because there are groups like the Cummings Foundation, the big developers. Their minimum grant is $10,000. Can you imagine how many years that would take care of us if we got a $10,000 grant? So, and I told the board, the commission, I said I'd be willing to try to make out the application form and apply for this, although we wouldn't get it in time for this.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Just for now, just for this event, we wouldn't
Well,
have that.
for now, because of the success of last year's event, and I saw Steve Mayo today, I think he would be very happy to help us out to a point. I mean, we spent, I don't know, about what, $1,500 last year on our entertainment, but we had generous contributions from people in the community. And we can't go out and ask people that directly, we can't solicit money. All we can do is put the word out there and say, we welcome donations for our events if you want to make some. So there isn't a lot of money, but again, the town manager likes us a lot. He likes the fact that we're so active, we do so much, we make the town lively and welcoming, and he said he would help us. So this particular, those people in Malden, tell me a little bit more about them.
Oh, it's a dance studio. It's in Malden. They teach, salsa, bachata. And I just reached out because I think last year what I liked about was the music, but I think it's good to have somebody teach you, even if it's a couple of steps, you know, just to have the crowd kind of going. And I think it's just fun just to have somebody that actually knows how to do it. So they said that usually the dance that they would teach and it's easier for crowds is bachata, because that's like a couple of steps.
Yeah.
And that they actually have done that in the past and that they do that. So that's something that they're familiar with, just working with, you know, events and big groups. So they will be more than happy to do it. But I just told them I still had to kind of come back to the group and see if that's something they wanted to do. And that's what they said, it's between $200 to $300.
So,
And what is the name of the organization? Because I should be taking notes.
Hold on, let me find it.
Okay.
I also have a suggestion when you guys are all set.
Okay. While she's looking, please, what is it?
So, I don't know the name of the group. I can find out, but I'm friendly with a woman I've known since like high school. I'm originally from Chelsea, so we kind of grew up in Chelsea together. And I know that she and her husband, they host at Assembly Row and also in Lowell. They have hosted like salsa social dancing. I've seen them post it on Facebook and social media. For the one in Lowell, it's called like salsa in Lowell or something. I don't remember the name, but they do like during the summertime, a few times during the summer, they do like salsa dancing. So they teach it, people dance, they have, her husband's a DJ and he plays the music. And I've seen them do it both in Lowell and in Somerville at Assembly Row. So I could reach out and try to get some information.
Yeah, no, that would be great if you can get any information that's helpful.
And plead poverty. Tell them that we are a small town body that really are just trying to introduce people to other cultures, and because Wakefield looks more like me than anything else. Yeah. And I'm pretty exotic for Wakefield, to tell you, as dark as I am, you know. So, yeah, so basically what we want to do is interactive. Now, do we want to have a couple of small events, like come and you'll see Argentine tango and learn how to dance it, and come and see bachata, come and see salsa and learn, like during the course of the month, and use it, like have 3 different possibilities?
That sounds awesome to me. I would love to see some tango dancing.
I actually took Argentine tango dance lessons because we went to Buenos Aires, and we very much we were determined we were going to go to Malanga and dance. Of course, we never learned it well enough to be able to do. We went, but we stumbled through it. But it's incredibly dramatic. It's not the kind of the cartoonish tango that you might see sometimes. It's got all these leg flicks and crossovers, and it's very dramatic dance. It's fantastic to look at. So maybe if, you know, and I'm gonna, and maybe they have, you know, these particular groups have special rates they can offer an organization like us. So if we had like 3 different events and each one was $200, I think the town would go $250. The town would go for that and help us out.
Yeah. No,
What about like food trucks or anything like that?
I looked into that last year.
Yeah, we
in
did.
detail. We cannot guarantee them enough of a take. They
Oh.
need to be guaranteed a minimum amount of food will be purchased,
Yeah.
and their requirements for where they set up and their electricity. I mean, if we had something in the park and had a whole day affair, that would be one thing, but we could not in any way guarantee them. And I contacted several and I got the same answer.
It's about $1,000 that you have to have, because if they don't make the money, then you just pay them.
Right.
Yeah, but like I know as a Wakefield mom, and I've been part of the PTO at the Dolbear School. We've done several events there. We've had like food trucks. We've had like the guy who does the hot dogs at the lake. He's come over and had his truck there, and I think some other, a pizza place had like a pizza, and this is just with the Dole Bear community. It's not even all of Wakefield, and it was never an issue. And, you know, there would even be lines of people getting food. So, you know, I'm not
you actually have,
with this event.
I have to tell you, you actually have the potential for a bigger audience than we did. We had under 100 people on the plaza for this major town event. So that's
Yeah, I
part of the
wasn't sure how
problem.
many people we attracted last year, but
Yeah, it was, yeah, definitely. I mean, it was bigger than what I've seen in our events, but and I mean, I think what helped the event too was that it was outside, it was at the library, so people that were walking by could stop and just kind of look at what we were doing.
okay.
I mean, I'm hoping that this year, at least, you know, we hear more people get the word out, and maybe they went last year and they want to go back, and you know, but
I don't
that's-
remember, you know, this is the first time that I have heard anything about an event for Hispanic Heritage Month. So maybe there needs to be more promotion, especially like on social media.
right.
Well, that's where we have limitations as well, because we're considered a town commission and we're not allowed to do certain things. We have a Facebook page.
We do.
We're on a website linked in with the town. And we are now, and I started this with one of the programs we did with the library last year, and we continued it this past weekend at the lake at the farmer's market. We're directly collecting email addresses from people. Because even if we individually each take 10 email addresses, you know, the different commissioners, and send out the notice to 10 people, because we do not have Twitter, we do not have Instagram, and we do not have a broadcast system.
You can't have Instagram, or you can't have social media accounts?
Just
You're
Facebook.
very,
I feel like
Facebook.
that people don't, people
exactly.
don't email, and social media is really the communication for everything now. And especially if you want younger people absolutely do not email. They, you know, my children will say that they don't even do Facebook. Like, you know, Facebook is for old people.
You're speaking to
No,
the choir here. We have been struggling with this, and we send out things to, you know, the newspapers and Patch. We use the students who have Instagram, the student council and the youth council. We use them. We send things out to all the principals so they can tell them to all the people in the schools. But if the kids don't take that information home to their parents, the kids hear it, you know, we contacted.
I think it puts your organization at just like a really bad position not to have like a social media presence.
Well, now the good thing is if we do have it at the library, they will broadcast to their whole entire library list. And that's a lot of people in Wakefield who have library cards and are on their network. And we do get up on the digital bulletin boards around town. There's 2 digital bulletin boards, one by the gazebo, one in town hall. All those kiosks around town, around the lake. We put posters in there for people to see, so that all the walkers and runners see it. So we do spread the word as widely as we can, but again, we are very hamstrung when it comes to more directly reaching people through modern social media. I mean, I personally do not use either Twitter or Instagram. I would rather not ever use Facebook either, to tell you the truth, and I don't, I use it rarely, but that's what we're limited by, which is why sometimes these things are small. But going back to the organizational part of this, besides the challenges of marketing, which is ongoing, we still need to decide, because this is the only way. Are we going to do like one or a series of events? Maybe if I can get 3 dates on the library plaza and have a different dance style in each of those 3, music and dance style in each of those. It's not so easy to plan and schedule it, but we could. And tell you, if the weather's not perfect, the library will move us inside, which is not ideal, but they will move us inside.
I mean, I think it's a good idea. Just the planning purposes of 3 events though, that's my fear. I know I took a lot of planning last year with 1, so I
Mhm.
can see how 3 can be challenging. Now, I'm all up for it. I mean, if we're able to get people to commit to come, like, to do these things, but I know it does definitely take time. And that's my only fear of planning 3. Now, September, it's, at least for me, it's tight. I am going to be around on the 16th, but I'm going to be away on the 23rd. And then I'm going to be away again on October 7th. So that doesn't mean that it can't happen. It's just, I'm not going to be around. So we just have to make sure that
Yep.
we have a big group to just kind of keep it together.
And I actually am gonna be away from the 27th through the 1st. I'll be back on the 2nd.
So-
Sister trip. My
Right,
sister
so
and I,
that's, yeah. So that's kind of my fear of having
Yeah.
3 events of like, we're
Mhm.
going to kind of keep it, holding it and making sure that things are kind of in place. So I would love it, of course, because it starts on the 15th. If we can do something on the 16th, that Friday. I know on a weeknight, I think on a week, like Friday night is maybe better for, I don't know what you think, but like for moms, just because the weekend, usually people have activities and their families, soccer or sports. I know I'm actually right now in the soccer tryouts with my son. So I know that can be hectic, but
I don't
I
even
think-
have kids and I have booked up weekends the whole
Right.
entire month
So
of
I think
September.
Friday nights, I don't know. I think that's what we did last year. I think it was a Friday night, and I think it worked out.
It was a Thursday.
It was a Thursday. Okay, so Thursday or Friday, I think it's probably best just to keep it on the weeknight than on the
The only
weekend.
problem is the library closes on Friday night at 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay, so maybe it has to be another.
It would have to be like on a Thursday.
Mm,
It can't be on a Friday because the library closes.
And a Saturday is not good?
Well, I have to say that I'm not even available any Saturday in October. Not even one. In September. I'm looking at my little calendar and.
Yeah.
So
I'm
the
not-
first day of Hispanic Heritage Month is the 15th.
Right,
Yep.
exactly. So,
Okay.
and last year we had, it was, even though it's the 15th, we had it on
It was
October 14th. We got it just under the wire.
we
I
totally
would,
squeezed
yeah, I would love to have it in September because like I said, better
The weather.
chance the weather will be good. And so what I can do is I can check with the library. I live right in town.
Yep.
I'm there, in fact, I was there today. I'm there probably 3 times a week. And I'll check with the library and see if they would, on the 15th or the 22nd, that's really, I'm gonna push it ahead and say, make it the 22nd because the 15th is really short from where we are right now. It's only 3 weeks.
Okay.
To try to pull some things together. Again, it's great to have it outside. The other option is we could have the Heritage Room. When you walk into the AmeriCall Center, there's a room off to the right. It's a good sized room. You can fit quite a few people in there in terms of music and dancing. Not if you don't put chairs in there, if you don't put a lot of seating, it's mostly standing up. But I'll check with the library first and
Yeah, I think that's a good first step if we can get the date, and then if Diane, if you can find out about the details of the people that you
Yep.
know,
Absolutely.
okay.
I can check back again with that other. I mean, I did check with that dance group. I can check with Veronica Robles and see if she has anybody that does the dancing. That
Well,
maybe
actually, somebody who was working with Charlie, I have to find his card. I have his card and I'll connect with him because and Charlie was very reasonably priced. So
Yeah.
maybe he has more people like Charlie who can
Right.
help us. So
Yeah, if we
don't,
can, and then maybe, I don't know, would it be something that we can put something in the item for volunteers to come to this?
Ooh.
Can we post like an article or something like saying that we're getting together for Hispanic, like the month again, and we want to look for volunteers and tell people that are interested in
yeah,
participating?
I will do that and I will have Daniela distribute it widely. But
Right,
I'll
maybe
send
share.
it to the newspapers. I always do the press anyway, because I have all
Yeah,
the
we
information.
can do something like that, and then maybe we can share on our own, with our own groups. And I'm sure, if like us, any other PTO moms or anybody else in town that would want to participate, or at least to get the word out, so that if we come up with an event, then it's easier to share the
Yeah.
info.
And you know what would be great? You said you have this Latino moms.
Mhm.
Were any of them able to volunteer to teach people a particular dance?
Oh, I didn't ask. I don't even know if people know how to dance. That's a good question.
How do you get in touch with, and you ask them if there's anyone in the group who happens to dance and would be willing to teach a small group of, we tell them small group, it could be 40 people or 50 people.
Right.
Be willing to teach some basic dance steps, just demonstrate and then teach them, because that won't cost us anything if we get people involved from the town. And
Right.
I would love to know some of the people who are not exactly like me in this town. I mean, I got to know a lot of people in the Asian community because of the things that we did the last 2 years. And they were just fabulous. They volunteered, they brought their musical instruments, they brought their crafts, they did performances, they were very talented. And I bet some of those moms are too. And maybe-
Yeah, no, ask. I mean, it doesn't hurt to ask.
Okay, so if Teresa, you could follow up on the Latino moms and the bachata, and Diane, you can follow up on the salsa, and I'll follow up again on the tango, and then the guy I met last year who might have some kind of connection, and also the library. We've got
Yes,
our,
I think the dates are key, so we can kind
yeah.
of have a line.
So there's another thought that I had in regards to food. I know like the food truck doesn't work, but there is a restaurant in Melrose. I don't know if you guys, it's I think it's pronounced La Cachara. Have you ever heard of that place?
Yeah.
I ate a tapas
Yeah.
yesterday. I had-
So
Their
what
food
if
is
they
fantastic.
had like a table or something with like that, I know they have like baked goods and things like that. What if there was something like that they could do?
I have to tell you, realistically, having worked in the restaurant industry, they probably wouldn't think it was well worth their while, because it takes a lot for them to bring stuff out. Now, if they were right in Wakefield, that would be different. Like, for instance, the owner of Maya has put food out at functions because he's right here in town. He's of our community. But,
Okay.
so I wish if we had somebody.
Well, we could ask Tequilas, right? They're here in town.
Okay. Tequila, yeah, that's true. I don't know those folks. I haven't eaten there. Actually, I ate at Mexico Lindo last night, and I didn't even think of going to Tequilas.
I just
Yeah.
feel like the food is so much a part of our culture. So
Yeah.
I hate to not have something.
Well, that was
Yeah.
the whole thing last year. We were going to have music, dance, and food.
Right.
And the food thing got knocked out of the
Yeah.
realm of possibilities so
maybe we can
fast.
check into, I mean, I can try to find out about tequilas, and then we have a Brazilian restaurant too in town now. Yeah,
That-
we do.
That is
Anyway.
not Latino, that's Portuguese. They don't speak Spanish in Brazil.
I
It's
know.
not it's not considered one of the nations, Hispanic nations that's celebrated during this month. Brazil is not included
Oh,
because
okay.
their primary language is not Spanish.
Right. It's Portuguese.
It's Portuguese.
Okay.
So
But,
they're
you
part
know-
of Latin America, but they're not part of Hispanic culture.
They're South America.
Yes.
Yes,
they're
but
not
what I
part of-
mean, like,
yeah.
I think they're part of Latin America, but
Mhm.
not Hispanic, because this month is Hispanic Heritage Month.
Right,
Right.
right.
So they're not
That's-
Hispanic because they don't speak
Yes.
Spanish.
That's
Okay.
right. That's
Okay.
right. So, I mean, Spain is included in this. But,
Yeah.
And of course,
Right.
so many of the nations of Central America, the Caribbean, Mexico is considered North America.
Right.
And it's Spanish, but
It's
Spanish speaking.
Hispanic, yeah.
And actually, the thing that's amazing is the United States, fun fact here, has the 5th largest amount of Spanish-speaking people in the whole world, but we're not part of this celebration, but we celebrate it because we have so many people who speak Spanish in our cultures. So
Okay.
we're the 5th largest Spanish-speaking nation.
Mhm.
And what I do is I send information like this like every few days, and I send it for postings, and I send it to our social media person, I send it to Patch. This Patch reaches a lot of people. And, you know, and I send it to the newspaper, the 2 newspapers that cover Wakefield, the Observer and the Island. And actually for Asian Pacific Islander, I also send to Reading, Melrose, and Linfield, and I could do the same. It's not a big deal to send the same press release to all those places to get people to come. Because I tell you, we were at the farmer's market last Saturday, and I met more people from outside of Wakefield than from Wakefield.
Oh, okay.
So if we had known what was coming up, we could have advertised it then, but we're not going to have another farmer's market day until October 1st. Although there will be, that's Wakefield 101 is not until the end of, yeah, that's not until October 10th. That's too late. What's the backup date if we can't get the 22nd? October 6th?
I'll be away October 6th, but I mean, that doesn't mean it can happen. It can definitely happen.
But you'd want to be here.
That would be nice, but you know, I don't want to, I mean, I think that should work. I mean, if we can help get it organized, it should work.
I know, like last year, they said we pushed it up to the 14th of October because we didn't think we had enough time.
Yep.
My only concern is we will not be blessed with the weather we had last year, which was fantastic. So I'll check with the library and see what they have. It's and then be so much better to have it there again on the plaza.
I think so, and I think it'll be good for people too to just kind of get in the habit of kind of seeing that event, you know, happening. I like that too.
Oh, and not only that, but the people who worked at the library, I mean, the custodian said to me, "This is the best event that's ever happened at the library, ever." It was so lively, and of course, it was such a beautiful night.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to write up some minutes because I have to. By law, we have to have minutes for everything. And I will distribute to you folks. And then we don't even get to vote on them if they're accurate, but you can correct my minutes for me. But it'll give you a sense of what we all committed to. And then they vote on this at the HRC meeting. It's just, this is open meeting laws, town process that we have to follow.
I know.
Diane, thank you so much. And if you have more friends who want to help out, especially those who dance, I mean, I know how to do a lot of these dances, but I'm not Hispanic, so it would not be an appropriation for me to teach a dance. So, you know, and I shouted up a storm in Dominican Republic. So,
do we want to have another check-in meeting just to
most
kind of
definitely. Okay, so this is, what's today?
Today is Monday.
The 22nd of August.
Yes.
Oh my God, the month is gone.
I know. I'm like,
How would a week be enough time to gather all that information? Or do you want to talk sooner?
no, I think a week is good.
So how about we meet, I have to send this into town. I have to give the town 3 days notice, so they put it on a public announcement. How about the 29th, Monday, the 29th, the same time?
For me, it works.
Mondays are good for me too. Okay.
And
Okay,
maybe we
I
can
will
get
have-
more volunteers.
Okay, and Diane, send me your email and we can talk to each other. I will send you Teresa's email. We can talk to each other, just as long as we're not actually
Making a
making
decision.
decisions, we can just share information by email. We're not allowed to make decisions by email. That's another thing. It's open meeting laws. We're considered, believe it or not, unpaid employees of the town of Wakefield.
Okay.
So we have to follow these special laws, and we're trained, and we don't break the laws because then our town manager won't give us any money to plan these wonderful events.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
All right.
joining. All right.
Nice meeting you guys.
All
And
right.
I promise the meetings will always be this short. I
That's
don't
perfect.
like long meetings.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Have a good night,
Okay.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye.